How are we doing, guys? All Leeds TV, Leeds versus Forest, and probably the biggest game of the season so far. What a massive game this is. We've got ourselves back to winning ways on Wednesday, but this is massive. You know, this is going to be a totally different test to Ipswich, with the greatest respect to Ipswich. You know, I felt the first half we were poor in that game. We were much better in the second half, but we've got to be, we've got to start game stronger. I feel. You know, I can't really think of the last time we've started the game strongly. You know, probably a push. I'd probably say Sheffield Wednesday, maybe in Preston, all that time ago. You know, we've not been starting the game strongly enough, and it's allowing the opposition to build momentum. You know, Blackburn last week, you know, 1 down after 2 minutes. Just hope we have that same intensity that we did at the start of the season. You know, against Stoke, Derby, Norwich, getting ourselves that early goal, that early bit of momentum. You know, pinning the other team back. You know, making sure they're reacting to us rather than us reacting to them. You know, the way Marcelo Bielsa wants us to play football. That's the only slight criticism I've got so far over the last couple of weeks. You know, just not being starting games strongly enough. But you've got to say, all in all, we deserve to be top of the table at the moment. But we've got to prove ourselves in these big games. We've got the win against Stoke and Derby. But I think when teams sit back a little bit more against us, like Middlesbrough, like Birmingham, I suppose, we've not really proven that we can break them down. You know, Stoke and Derby very much sort of attacked us with the same kind of intensity as we attacked them, and we just sort of outforced them on the day. But Middlesbrough, Birmingham, it was a bit more 10 men behind the ball. You know, it was a bit more defensive, and we struggled to break that down. You know, I think with the 4-1-4-1 system, it became a little bit too much for 4-5-1, and it's tough to break teams down when you've not really got anyone running in behind the defence. You know, only really Kemar Reeves, Tyler Roberts, and it made it tough to break down defences. So hopefully we see that again today. You know, it's a massive game this today, a big test. You know, it's a game where I think if we are going to be top 2, we do need to win this kind of game. You know, these are the kind of games we really do need to compete in. But Forest are no pushovers. Absolutely not. You know, we've got a fantastic win at midweek at Bolton, 3-0 win there. And not many teams win comfortably at Bolton. So, you know, clearly they have got an attacking threat to the play. But I think the main debate really for me is whether to go for back 3 in a 3-3-1-3 or go to a more traditional and what we've played for most of the season of a 4-1-4-1. I mean, we went back to 3-3-1-3. Sorry, we went with a 3-3-1-3 against Ipswich, and I thought it worked really well in the second half. You know, when we had Pearce going on the left wing back, Alioski just ahead of him. They made a real solid left hand side. Obviously, you've got Aylan and Hernandez on the other side, which has been fantastic all season. Well, it's worked fantastic well all season when those two have played together in an attacking and defensive sense. But I think I'd go with a 3-3-1-3. I know Bielsa, he has a tendency to always go with one more centre back than the other team has striker, and Forest are almost certain to go with a 4-2-3-1, and that would probably allocate itself to a 4 at the back. But for me, I just thought it worked so well, the 3-3-1-3. You know, I think it could work so well. You know, my team would very much be Bailey Peacock-Farrell, Pontus, Calvin Phillips, Liam Cooper as the back 3. I think that's a fairly decent back 3. You know, I think Liam Cooper looks much more comfortable in the back 3. You know, he's able to defend those wide areas pretty well. You know, he did play as left back a lot in his earlier career for Chesterfield, Hull, and that lot. So I think that's not too bad a back 3. Calvin Phillips in the middle of it can very much be like the Conor Cody at Wolves last season. You know, controlling the back 3. And sort of starting attacks from that position. You know, we saw it against Ipswich. Some of his passing range this season has been absolutely exceptional. I can't really find a criticism of Calvin Phillips' game so far this season. He's been absolutely brilliant and comfortably one of our best players this season. The next 3 after that, I go Luke Ayling right wing back. Adam FORSHAW. And then I'd probably go for Tom Pearce, left wing back. I thought Tom Pearce looked absolutely fine when he came on against Ipswich. Obviously, you'd like to have Barry Douglas there, but Tom Pearce is more than capable as a deputy. I'd be surprised if there's a better second choice left back in this league. You know, I don't want to exaggerate, but I'd be surprised. You know, Tom Pearce would probably start for the vast majority of teams in this league. He'd be a starting left back. You know, he really has done that exceptionally well when he's played left back. And then maybe playing slightly further up with that Matthias Klick. But I suppose it can lend itself into a 3-4-3 as well. You know, with Adam FORSHAW and Matthias Klick being more sort of what I'd call more conventional centre midfielders. You know, not really. They're neither really defensive or number 10s. You know, I think they can both play alongside each other and form quite a solid midfield too. I mean, there is a case for playing Samuel side, but I think Adam FORSHAW was absolutely exceptional when he came on. And I think in a big game, I don't think you can risk having like a Samuel side in this kind of game. Yeah, I think he'd be a lot stronger coming on in the last 20, 30 minutes. I think you have to have that solidity in the middle of the park. You know, I think it's a little bit risky having one player in the middle of the park against, you know, quite a technical team in Forest. You know, they've got some really technical players who can easily drift past their opponent. So it's risky, I think, playing one centre midfielder in a game like this. I think you've got to be a little bit more defensively aware. I'd go for Click and FORSHAW in the middle of the park. Maybe with Click playing slightly further forward to form a 3-3-1-3. The attacking three, I go for Pablo, Kemar Roof, Alioski. Now I think there is claims that you could have Jack Harrison there, but for me Alioski looked a lot better when he was playing further up on that left hand side. You know, where he was getting the ball in areas where he can have an impact on the game. He wasn't getting the ball from deep like it was in a 4-1-4-1. He was getting the ball. He was running onto the ball. You know, I think he's a lot stronger running onto things, Alioski. And then 3-3-1-3, he probably is going to be running onto things quite a lot. And the other thing with Alioski you get a bit more solidity on the left hand side, as I was touching on before. You know, Forest's main threat for me is the front four. You know, Diaz, Yao Carvalho in the middle as a number 10, Joe Lolly on the left hand side, and of course Lewis Grabban up front. That is a really good front four, possibly one of the best in the league. And it's just so much individual quality, and I think we do need players who are capable defensively as well in a game like this. You know, I think we have to somewhat react to what the opposition are going to try and do against us. You know, I mean, in terms of actual gameplay, I hope we do sort of dominate the game as much as we can, but we have to respect Forest to a certain extent, that they do have some really dangerous players. So I would try and be a little bit more defensive perhaps in a game like this. You know, a point won't be the end of the world. We certainly can't really afford to lose a game like this, you know, in terms of mentality. You know, I won't say it's the end of the world if we lose today, but I think it shows we mean business if we win a game like this. But I'll go on to Forest. You know, I think the key battle today is probably Pontus Jansson against Lewis Grabban. Lewis Grabban's got 8 goals in 13 games. I think he's only started 10 of those games. He's missed a couple of penalties, but he's possibly one of the best strikers in the league. I mean, in terms of link-up play, he's probably everything you want in a lone striker, and I think Pontus is really going to have a tough game today. But on the form Pontus has shown this season, I'd fancy Pontus to win that battle. But I think it's going to be a key part of the game. You know, I think that three behind Lewis Grabban needs Lewis Grabban to bring him into the game, and if Pontus can keep Lewis Grabban quiet, I think it makes it more difficult for the three in behind as well. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game. You know, but look at Forest's weakness, and for me, possibly the weakness might be the back four. You know, I think it's De Rikwa playing right back, Michael Hefele. It tends to be Michael Dawson or Danny Fox at centre back, and Jack Robertson at left back. For me, it's not a poor back four by any means, but I think in terms of in comparison to the rest of the teams at this level, you know, who are really trying to compete and be up there, I'd say it's probably one of the maybe weaker ones. You know, this might come back to haunt me, but I think that there is a lot. If we have a go at that back four, I think there's a lot of, you know, potential for us there. You know, I think it's a back four that can be got at. You look at the two holders as well, and it tends to be Jack Colback, and it can vary quite a bit. Sometimes it's Guediora, not 100% who it will be alongside Jack Colback, but it's not really an out-and-out defensive midfield too. You know, I don't think they'll offer that much protection in front of the back four. I think they're more ball-playing midfielders rather than, you know, midfielders that'll break the game down. So I think there's a lot of potential there as well for us, you know, to really have a go at that back four. And, you know, I think what the perception with Aysel Karanka is his teams are more defensive, but I think this team's a little bit different to what you sort of expect of an Aysel Karanka team. You know, I think it's a bit more attack-minded than defensive-minded, and it's going to be a really good game for me. You know, I think it's going to be really close. If we can win this kind of game, it really will. I think it sends out a message to the rest of the league, and that's the main thing at this stage of the season. 14 games in, hopefully we get ourselves a win. Make sure you check out our videos after the game, before the game as well. Conor's done a matchday vlog from the Ipswich game. Make sure you check out that with all the sights of Melbourne as well. I highly recommend that one. Also done a preview of the game. Make sure you check out all the videos and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've been Oscar Marriott, and we'll see you later.